What's up, friends? This is Easy E. You might know me from Instagram and YouTube. I have 3 followers and 7 followers respectively. I'm going to give you guys the lowdown on the Tiger Try. This year, in light of COVID, we're going to try to make the race quite a bit more safe and responsible. A lot of races are getting canceled. We hope that we can do it in a very responsible way. And so instead of having an athlete meeting at packet pickup like we normally do the day before the race, we're going to do this right now and have this available for you to watch. So if you have never done a triathlon, welcome. This is one of the most beginner-friendly ones around. If you're registered, you will have a packet emailed to you in the next day or two, and we will also post this racer packet on our Facebook page, on the Tiger Try Facebook page. And so some of these details you'll be able to read through for yourself if you're that highly detail-oriented person. So first of all, thanks for joining us this year. It's the 14th annual Tiger Try. And really thanks to the sponsors that help make this happen. Every year, Larson and Miller Law Firm, presenting sponsor, those guys are awesome. Triathletes as well, so got to respect that. Bicycle Outlet, James River Dental. I hope I don't miss anybody. Ozark Multisport Clubs always plays a part. And of course the City of Republic that pretty much make this thing happen. They're amazing. Okay, so packet pickup. If you're doing the adult race, you're going to come to packet pickup sometime between 12 and 7 p.m. this coming Friday, the day before the race, and we're going to be at Fleet Feet in Springfield, Missouri. So if you don't know what that is, Google is your friend. Now, if you're doing the kids race, you're actually going to, and you're just doing the kids race, your kids are doing the kids race, I should say. So if you're an adult doing the kids race, you're a damn cheater. If your kids are doing the kids race, you're going to go straight to Miller Park in Republic, do the packet pickup right before the race, and then do the race. This is really going to specialize on the adult race, this particular video. Okay, so if you cannot make packet pickup on Friday, you can do late packet pickup on Saturday morning. We're going to open up transition by 5:15 a.m., I believe it says here. I recommend getting there no later than 5:30 a.m. because it just takes longer to get all your stuff race morning, and we're still going to have some extra precautions for COVID that I will cover in a little bit. So ideally get there by 5:30 a.m. on Saturday if you don't get your packet set Friday night. Identification, bring your ID. We are gonna allow you to pick up a friend's packet on Friday if they can't make it. That's gonna allow fewer people to be in contact with each other, and that's a more responsible thing. So that is fine to pick up your friend's packet. Just a couple like basic things. Those of us who have done a lot of triathlons know that you'll be a lot less nervous on race day if you've just kind of like gone through your gear, make sure it's all organized, and kind of have a plan for the day. So the night before the race, set out all your gear. Think through what you're going to need at what part of the race, and so you don't forget anything on race morning. Have it all packed up. And so when you're running, you'll have a bib number. We want that to be on the front of your shirt while you run. You actually don't have to wear that on the bike. So that's just fine. Let's see. Some of the things that we recommend bringing, of course, your swimsuit and goggles, maybe a towel to put down on the ground right next to your bicycle. They can put all your stuff on. We call it your transition area. Some clean, dry clothes for after the race. Of course, you cannot race without a bike helmet. Any separate shoes you might need, sunglasses, any kind of race belt you might want to be wearing, maybe a backpack to carry it all. I'm a big fan of anti-chafing stuff like Body Glide because I chafe easy, and so that will be your friend. Any race day nutrition you're gonna take with you. We're not gonna have aid stations this year, just to be extra safe. So you want to make sure you have anything you need on the bike or the run with you. So you might want to have a handheld bottle. Maybe a gel with you. Historically, we've had aid stations on the run, so that's changed this year. Race day parking, got the information in the map on this document that you can read. Transition area opened at 5:15 a.m., closed at 6:50 a.m., 6:50. Because the race starts right around 7, we need to have that area cleared, and then we can do the pre-race meeting, so you're all ready. When you check in, we're going to have an extra screening to make sure that you're not racing with a fever. So we're actually going to take a forehead temperature on you. If you have a temperature of over 100 degrees, 100.0 degrees, you will be unable to race. I'm sorry. We're also going to make sure that you don't have any symptoms, and you're going to sign a little extra waiver verifying that. We're not going to body mark you with Sharpies like we have in the past, but you can do that yourself if you would like. Just you're going to look at the bib number on your bib. You're going to write that down your arm. So if it's 100, you're going to write 100, kind of in about 3-inch, 4-inch high letters. And then on your calf, on the back of your calf, you're going to put your age. And so if it's, I'm 44, I'd write a 4 and then a 4 kind of going down. You don't have to do that. That's just kind of like part of the fun. If you're a real triathlete, you actually don't take a shower afterwards. Then you go out to eat in all the places with your number on, and then people say, why do you have a number on? And you feel really cool. Now, if you do shower, just don't wash that part. In the transition area, after you check in, pass all the screening and stuff like that, you will have everything you need. So you're going to walk your bike in, you're going to find a rack, and you're going to set your bike on the rack, either by the seat or by the handlebars. And we're going to try to aim for 4 bikes per rack, so 2 on each side, kind of separated. There's not any kind of system, so you can just find an open rack and put yours in there. What else? Okay, the swim. This is maybe the most confusing part of the race because we do a pool swim try instead of in a lake. We love it because it's way safer and it's fun to be able to watch everybody swim. So the way we do this, we do a snake swim. So we'll have everybody line up, and we're going to kind of get you into stages. It's like the fastest swimmers say around 4 minutes or under, they're going to kind of all get together and then kind of get in order before the race starts of fastest to slowest. And then when the race starts, that first person will jump in the water, and when they do that, they'll cross the timing mat, so their time starts, and they will swim to the end of the pool. And then they will come back in the other side of that same lane. And then they will go under the rope and then down the next lane, come back in the other side of that same lane, under the rope. And it's like a snake pattern, and then they will exit the pool at the far end. And because we have everybody theoretically in order of fastest to slowest, we're gonna start the next person, say maybe 10, 15 seconds later, and there should be no passing, because if everybody's swimming the right time, there's no passing. Now, inevitably, somebody gets it a little wrong. If you are swimming and somebody touches your toes, they've caught you. That means you just kind of stand up, squeeze to the side, let them go by you, and then get right on their feet. You don't have to touch their feet, but there is an aerodynamic advantage, a hydrodynamic advantage to swimming on, within 6 to 12 inches of someone's foot. You'll actually feel yourself getting pulled forward. It's great. So just like on the bicycle, which you cannot do in a triathlon, you cannot draft on the bicycle in a triathlon, but in the swim you can, and I recommend it. If you catch somebody, tap their toes. Sometimes they don't feel your taps, so just kind of keep tapping them. Eventually they'll move over, and it works out pretty well. So that's the swim. So again, before you get into swim, try to have your 300-yard swim time that you can do kind of in your mind, so you can get in the right space and line. Don't assume you're going to swim 20 seconds faster than you ever have before because it's a race. And make sure that the time you've been doing in the pool is yards, not meters, or do a conversion if you have to. We're not going to dive into the water. We're just going to jump in feet first. You can do a cannonball if you want. And that's the swim. Once you're done with the swim, you're going to exit the pool and you're going to run to your bike in the transition area. You're going to put all your bike stuff on, and then you're going to take your bike out the bike exit. And so we'll have somebody there helping you. There's a line there will be usually with duct tape, and you cannot get on your bike until you cross that line. That makes sure that people aren't riding their bikes all over the place in the transition area, crashing into each other and causing mayhem. So once you pass that mount line, you can get on your bike and you're going to do the bike course. If you remember, there are 2 distances here. There's a super sprint and a sprint. The bike course is It's basically one loop no matter what race you're doing, so you're just going to follow the instructions from the volunteers and the signage. Now, just know, like in any race, it's your responsibility to know the course. So I would just advise you to drive the course in advance, maybe ride it in advance. There are some steep hills, some quick turns. Be familiar with them, and so you can be as safe as possible. On the bike, it's an open course to traffic, so there's going to be cars. Ride to the right. Be safe. You're always going to lose in a collision between a bicycle and a car. If you're on a team, the swimmer will exit the swim and they'll run to the runner and they will tag them and they'll give them the timing chip. The timing chip that you will get at Pack Pickup is going to be different than your bib number. It actually will be a chip that goes around your ankle. It'll be kind of a neoprene kind of thing. It'll be a disposable, like a foam kind of thing with a chip built into it. That way you can take it home, mount it, sign it, all these things. And we don't have to have our volunteers take the chip off you. But that chip, you'll have to have it on your ankle in order to make sure you get the time, because when you cross these mats at different parts of the race, it'll register your time. So you team people, the swimmer will take the chip off and give it to the bicyclist. They will then do the bike segment. And then when you're done with the bicycle segment, you come in, hand it to your runner, and then they take off. Now, if you are doing it all by yourself, of course, you have just done the bicycle course, and you followed all the rules, and you come back and you're gonna get off your bike right at that mount/dismount line. We usually have somebody there kind of yelling at you, reminding you to get off the bike so it's safe. And you will then walk/run your bike back to the normal spot that you found it. Change your clothes at all if needed. Grab a handheld water bottle if you need it. My recommendation is have one with a strap on it. That way you don't have to hold onto a bottle the whole time and then get all tense. It's much easier. And you'll do the run. Again, no aid stations on the run, so bring whatever hydration or nutrition you're going to need on the run. The run is a 5K if you're doing the normal sprint course. If it's half of that if you're doing the super sprint. We'll have volunteers out there, and it should be hard to get lost. But again, know the course. If you are doing the super sprint, well, when we start, we'll start the super sprint athletes first. So super sprint, they're going to do half the swim, so 150-yard swim, and then they're going to do the a shortened bike course, a 6-mile bike course, and they're going to do a 1.5-mile run. And then after the last super sprinter has started, we'll give it a few minutes, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, something like that, before we start the first sprint athlete. And then there'll be a little bit of a leg, and for our volunteers to understand who's doing the super sprint and who's doing the sprint. If you're doing the double, that means you're going to do both races. You're awesome. I can commend you. I've done it a couple times and it is amazing. It's so fun. You're going to do the super sprint first, and when you finish the super sprint, you're going to just go walk back over to the pool and get in line. Now, normally with this race, we have pretty high participation, and there are still people actually in line to get in the pool when you've got done with your entire super sprint race. Because going one person every 15 seconds, it takes 4 people a minute. That's 240 people in an hour to get in the water. And normally we have, about an hour to get everybody in the water. This year, as of now, we're looking at about 140 registrations. It's actually much higher than we expected. So we may be close to normal numbers, maybe just a little bit under this year. And so you're a super sprint athlete. You may have a little time to rest before you do your sprint. You may not have a lot of time, but I'll tell you, having done it twice and I maybe had 5 or 10 minutes rest, you feel like $1 million on the sprint race. You're totally warmed up. You think you'd be tired. You actually feel great, and you go just about as fast as you normally would in the sprint race. It's incredible. It's a testament to a proper warm-up. It's also a testament to the fact that none of us ever do a proper warm-up. All right. We already talked about the timing chip. Etiquette, especially in light of COVID, please throw away all your own trash so we don't have to have our volunteers picking up other people's trash. Please say thanks to the volunteers. They're so great. They're coming out and supporting you. We're going to have the Parkview cross-country team. We're going to have the Kickapoo cross-country team. This helps raise funds for them. So we love that we can support our community through this race. You guys are doing that. We also have some other great volunteers that just love helping and seeing you guys do awesome things. So thank the volunteers. We're asking everybody to please bring no more than 2 spectators per racer to, again, keep the crowds down. It's probably going to be warm, so make sure you got dressing appropriately, got cold water with you. If it's raining, we typically race if it's raining. Maybe we delay a little bit, maybe we just go right on. If it's lightning, then we have the chance of potentially canceling. We don't anticipate having to cancel. We never have. And so yeah. This year, the post-race food will actually be manned by volunteers who have gloves and masks. They'll hand you your food afterwards, so it will not be self-selected. I mean, you will not be having the opportunity to get your sweat on other people's food. And so we hope that's gonna be safer. We'll have bottled beverages. Again, with the aid stations, we really hate to not have aid stations for you guys, but you know, you think about that, we're just trying to keep any chance of some dude's random loogie getting in your water cup. And so this is the best way that we think we can do that. We will have race photographers there. The photos will be uploaded to our Facebook page after the race, and those are free. So we think that's awesome. Awards, this year, we will not have an award ceremony. We will mail out the overall awards to the overall winners, and then anybody who's an age group winner can pick up their little plaque at the Republic Community Center beginning after 1 p.m. on Monday following the race. If you have any questions or problems with that, feel free to contact us so we can work with you. We will have the showers in the pool available after the race for your guys to use. Just the showers inside the main community center, which we've used in the past, those will not be available this year. But showers in the pools will be fine. In the past, we've also had an open swim for families after, and we have to have some extra guidelines with the pool, so that unfortunately will not be happening this year. Results will be posted almost immediately. Ultramax Sports does the timing for this race. They're fantastic, some of the best timers in the business, so the results will be posted super promptly. They usually have emailed to you within an hour or two. We'll also post them on our Facebook page. What did we forget? Inevitably, there's always some questions, you guys, that pop up, and so I encourage you, if you have them, chime in, comment on this video, and I'll be sure to answer real promptly for you guys. I'll tell you just one more thing. I've done pretty much every race that you can imagine. Done obstacle course races, 100-mile running races, mountain bike races, adventure races, and I'll tell you, a triathlon, even a sprint triathlon that takes you 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes to do, you've just swam, you have just biked, you have just ran. No race makes you feel like more of an absolute badass than a triathlon. So you are gonna love it, whether it's your first race or your 20th race. Just wanna thank you guys for coming out. Let's have a safe, let's have a responsible, let's have a fun race. Thanks.